Hello there, my name is Mr. Smartdonkey. Welcome back to another episode of Weapons of the Wasteland. So in last episode I showed you guys the assault rifle from no requirements all up to gun nut rank 2 requirements. So this episode we'll be looking at gun nut rank 3 and 4. So as always, I'll start off by showing you guys the scopes available for the assault rifle. So of course, since I in last episode already showed off all the sights and also the short scope, there's really not much left. There is basically the the night vision scope. And of course this comes in short, medium and long range, and then there is the recon scope which comes in short and long range. I could show you guys the medium and long rifle just regularly, but it's just there's no point since I already showed you guys the short one last episode. So as always with these two-part episode series videos, we have to of course do upgrades before we can get into the gun, because there's no gun to show off, of course, because we already looked at the regular assault rifle in the previous episode. So anyway, we're gonna immediately jump to gun nut rank 4 requirements. All of these guns are gonna have requirements rank 4 for gun nut. There are a few receivers that require gun nut rank 3, but I just didn't think they were interesting enough to show off. Basically, the armor piercing automatic receiver we're going to be showing off later with the extra addition of Hardened on top of it. So it's like there's not really any point in showing this off. Hair trigger is interesting because it's a little bit different, but there's other things that are like this hair trigger. Basically, this advanced receiver has the hair trigger as well, so we'll be looking at that later. Powerful, we have the advanced. So it's all like, it's very similar, but there's just better options out there. So I figured I'd just show off all the better options rather than showing off some of these other ones. Like I could have made 3 episodes out of this, but I think that's just a little bit too much. But anyway, for the first one, we're going to go for the rapid automatic receiver. So this is something I wanted to show off on the combat rifle as well, but I never got around to it because there was just too many things. But in this one, we're going to show it off. So this has a ridiculous fire rate. The damage goes down quite a bit. But the fire rate is insane. It's actually quite ridiculous what the fire rate is on this. I mean, it's no minigun, but it's cutting it pretty close. For the barrel, we now have 2 different options: the ported barrel and the vented barrel. So the ported barrel gives superior recoil and is a little bit lighter than the vented barrel, so it's better for VATS. But generally, I prefer the vented barrel. It gives superior recoil, range, and sighted accuracy, but has poor hipfire accuracy. But similar to the long barrel and short barrel, I went over that last episode. I don't think that hipfire accuracy is important enough on the assault rifle. For the short or the stock, we're going to go for a recoil compensating stock. So now there's 3 options open up. We have the full stock, which gives better recoil. So if you only have gun rank 3, just go for this because it's better than the short stock. There is a marksman stock, which has superior recoil and better aim with scopes, but this has exceptional recoil, and since this is not going to be scoped, we're going to use this because we just want as good recoil as possible, recoil control as possible. Some of these automatic guns have ridiculously good recoil control. This is actually one of them, as you'll see in a minute. For the magazine, we're going to go for the quick eject drum mag, just because it's the highest magazine out there. We actually have the regular quick eject mag also in gun nut rank 4, which is interesting. This is a little lighter, which means that in VATS you have a little more shots, but with this gun, I'll talk about this later as well, the VATS really isn't very good with the assault rifle, so I wouldn't really even bother going for a VATS build with this gun. But again, I mean, if you do want to, then please feel free to go for that. Sight, I'm going to go for a reflex sight, or scope / sight, I'm going to go for a reflex sight. And the muzzle, we're going to go for a muzzle brake. So once again, we have several options open up. Oh yeah, with the sight, we also have several options opened up, but I'm not going to bother with those right now. The muzzle, compensator, muzzle brake, and suppressor, pretty standard stuff for this kind of gun. I'm going to go for the muzzle brake. Exceptional recoil control, better per shot recoil, and inferior range, but the range is still good enough. It's just a little bit better than the compensator, but like I said, the recoil control on this gun is absolutely immense, and it's one of its like amazing, one of the best features about it. Basically, it's got such high fire rate, and then if you can control those shots, then it's such a good gun. So that's the recoil compensated rapid assault rifle. So you've seen the recoil compensated rapid assault rifle being built. It's time to see how it does in action. So the damage, we're down to 20, which is a pretty big downgrade, but it's all because of the fire rate, of course, which is 136, 173 range, 83 accuracy. And the weight, actually, normally I don't mention it, but 24. It's a very, very, very heavy weapon. And I think, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I will do later on. That the VATS basically with this weapon is not great because you really don't get too many shots off. You can see here I only got 2, and with this weapon it doesn't even hurt the Supermoon for half its health, so it's kind of disappointing how much the VATS does with this weapon. So now I've seen the recoil compensated rapid assault rifle in action. It's time to perform some more upgrades. So now we're gonna go for a somewhat similar gun. It's not going to be as rapid fire rates, but it's still pretty good. So we're going to go for the Hardened Piercing Auto Receiver. So this combines the Hardened and the Armor Piercing and Automatic. So this becomes a really strong weapon against armored units, of course. I mean, it makes sense. We've gone over this before in previous episodes as well. For the barrel, we're going to go for the vented barrel. All these guns are actually going to have the vented barrel, just because I think that the hipfire accuracy isn't important enough, and because the gun is so heavy, it's not going to be good in VETs anyway, so the ported barrel is never really that worth it to me. But again, if you want to go for that, please feel free to do so. Recoil compensating stock, because again, there's not going to be a scope on this, so it's better than the marksman stock. Magazine, we're going to go for the quick eject drum mag again, because this is not our automatic gun. With automatic guns, I'll just go for as many shots as possible, basically. For the sights, we're going to go for the Reflex sight circle. It's a very similar gun to the last one when it comes to all these other things. And the muzzle, we're going to go for the muzzle break. So very similar to the last gun, but it does serve a different role. The other one's just dishing out as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time, whereas this one is more focused on just taking out those heavily armored enemies. But anyway, that's the Recoil Compensated Hardened Piercing Automatic Assault Rifle. I'm not going to bother mentioning the name of this weapon, because otherwise it will take up half of this, and this is already short enough as it is, because this weapon absolutely wrecks everything. You can see it does, even against the ghouls. This is an armor-piercing weapon. Even against the ghouls, it seems to make a difference in comparison to the last gun, just because the damage is 7 higher and it fires so quickly. So we're 27 damage, 113 fire rate, 174 range, and 83 accuracy. Weight's gone up a little bit again as well, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I mean, it's heavy. That's all you need to know. VATS is not going to be great with this weapon. You can see it doesn't take out the super mutant either, even though, like, normally it's such a good gun. So now we've seen the previous gun with the ridiculously long name in action, we are going to perform some more upgrades. So now we're going to go for a completely different gun, I guess I should say. It's not automatic, which instantly makes it a completely different gun, in my opinion, just because that's basically the two ways to go with this gun, is automatic or non-automatic. So we're going to go for the advanced receiver. It does have better fire rate generally, though. You can still see it's 59 over the normal 40, so it's definitely noticeable. It's exceptional damage. The damage is just ridiculous. It's the highest we can go for just plain damage with this gun. So yeah, it has a more sensitive trigger, better rate of fire. So barrel, we're going to go for a vented barrel again. Explained already why. For the stock, however, now we're going to go for a marksman stock, because this one will have an actual scope on it. So there's a superior recoil and better aim with scopes. Oh. For the magazine, we're actually going to go for the quick eject mag. Now this is a build that I went for this, and then I realized as I used the gun, it didn't really matter too much. But I went for the quick eject mag because I figured it would give me perhaps more shots in VATS, but it didn't really turn out that way. This gun is just so heavy that you don't really get many shots at all anyway. But I'm going to go for it anyway, because that's what I have on the left side of your screen, and I don't want to change all that again. But yeah, you could go for the drum mag as well in this case. But then again, it is a semi-auto, so the magazine isn't too important. But yeah, you can still go for a drum mag if that's what you want. For the scope, I'm going to go for a short recon scope. No, short night vision scope, sorry. Again, you can just choose recon or night vision, whichever one you want, or anything really. I'm going to go for short just because the arena is a bit short, but yeah, I'd say go for longer if you can. If you want to make this into a long-range rifle anyway. So we're going to go for a short night vision scope. We all know what it does. And the muzzle, I'm going to go for a suppressor. So this sort of becomes a sniper rifle, but not really, because it fires ridiculously fast anyway. But you can definitely use it as a sniper rifle. You'll see in the video as well. The recoil control on this gun is absolutely immense. So you can just basically, even at longer distances, you can just spam your gun basically, and you can fire so quickly and take out enemies like crazy. So yeah, we're going for the suppressor on that. So that is the Night Vision Advanced Assault Rifle. So moving on to the Night Vision Advanced Assault Rifle in action. You can see it's actually, you can see when I fire the recoil, it's almost non-existent really. I fire and the reticle stays exactly where I fired, which is why I like this one maybe the most out of all the 4 rifles that are, rifles that I made here. Just because it's literally point and click, or point and shoot, like point and click. You point at something, you click, it dies, and your reticle stays exactly where. It's almost cheating in a way. Anyway, the damage up to 52, of course, but it's semi-auto. 59 fire rate, which is still very high though. 173 range and 93 accuracy, which has gone up a little bit because of the scope, of course. You can see once again in VATS though, it really doesn't do that well. Once again, quite disappointing. So now we've seen the Night Vision Advanced Assault Rifle in action. It's time to perform the final upgrades for the Assault Rifle. So we're going to go all the way down to the bottom of the list. for the powerful automatic receiver. So this is a nice combination of just plain extra damage and a higher fire rate as well. So it doesn't fire as fast as a rapid automatic receiver. It also doesn't have armor piercing, but it just does generally more damage overall, and the automatic, or the fire rate's really high as well. For the barrel, we're going to once again go for vented barrel. Like I said, every gun is going to have a vented barrel. For the stock, we're going to go for the Recoil Compensating stock again. This is going to be very similar to the previous guns again from the first two basically. Magazine, quick eject drum mag for reasons explained before. The sight, once again, go for a reflex sight because it's not a scoped gun. This is just a pure damage at a medium distance. But again, if you want to put a scope on there, I've actually had a lot of people say, well, not a lot, a bunch of people say I should be showing off scopes more. But the thing is, especially with certain guns, it just doesn't really work well, especially in the arena that I've made, to use scopes. It just makes it harder to hit stuff. And it's like, people wanted to see, for example, on the 44 pistol, they wanted me to use scopes. But it's like, using a scope on a pistol, it's just kind of, I don't know, it just feels off. And I understand that I should be showing off as much as I can, but it doesn't always make sense. And I think when it's an automatic rifle, you don't really want a scope because it just throws off your aim, because you're going to have a lot more sway, and the recoil is not going to, like, recoil control won't be as useful when there's a scope on there. But anyway, I don't want to like go into that too much in just a random episode, but I just wanted to quickly explain why I haven't really been doing that. The brake, or the muzzle, we're going to go for a muzzle brake again, just like the first two guns. So yeah, that's the Recoil Compensated powerful automatic assault rifle. Once again, I won't bother saying the name of this gun or it will take up half this video. So the damage up to 30, well, down from to 34 from the previous gun, but compared to the other assault rifles, it's up to 34. Fire rate 113, same as the second gun in this video. 173 range, 83 accuracy. Once again, the weight's gone up, 25.6. I think that might be the highest besides the minigun we've seen so far. Absolutely destroys everything though, this gun. All of these assault rifles really destroy everything. It doesn't matter what you choose. This one actually does alright in VATS, but still doesn't manage to kill the super mutant. And we've seen way worse guns kill the super mutant in VATS. We'll have a quick look at the comparison as well, but there's not really much to see here. All of them completely destroy the super mutant, so everyone's a winner. Thank you all once again for watching another episode of Weapons of the Wasteland. As always, please let me know which gun you'd like to see me use next. Until then, have a good day and goodbye.